Welcome back to Project Ozone 3, and as you can see, my system, even it's only got 2 drives so far, is getting a little bit full. Yeah, and I think I want to swap over to using larger drives. So you can, of course, just grab these drives and pull them out, but if they have stuff in them, well, you've got a bit of a problem. So let's get started with some just miscellaneous stuff that you can use for this. So an MEIO port, I think is the blog if I remember rightly, and you can make one of these. And then we're going to want to craft a new drive. So if we go 64K, it technically can make one. It's actually just missing gold logic processors. And I think I've got some here. Yep, we've got some in. I've also put acceleration cards. These advanced inscribers can fit up to 5 of them, making it very fast to really process stuff. And you can just do it in bulk, just like that. All right, so now we want to get in here and get it to craft one of these. Once I have put the processes in. There we go. And it can start. It'll take it a little while because it needs to work through the various options. But once that's done, we should be able to get started with this. Okay, here's our 64K drive, and we also have the I/O port, of course. Just a brief mention of what else I'm actually doing here. I am already alloying up molten night slime, and that is quite easy in this pack because we've got this purple slime being grown by a hopping bonsai pot. You combine that with some iron and some cobblestone in the smeltery, and it will alloy together if you've got the quantities right. I've not got the quantities quite right, so I'm just basically winging it a little bit, and it's working fine. How many blocks have we got of it? 7. Okay. So just bear in mind for the higher tiers of high-tech stuff, or rather the, let's look at the quests. In over here somewhere, iota, there we go. So night slime armor is what we're looking for. So night slime. Be aware of this. You need to have a lot of night slime for each piece of armor. So that is what, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 for just the chest plate, and it is different for each one. You know, it is easier on some, but bear in mind you're going to need a lot more. I'll have to count them out later, so I'm not going to be doing more of the armor this episode, but you get the idea. We want lots of night slime to get past that. And then there is obviously the other tiers. Cobalt we can already do, of course. We have cobalt seeds. Ardite will be the same. We just need to make some ardite seeds, manually, etc. Ironwood, we'll need to get to the Twilight Forest for that. But we're okay there. Now, what I've also been doing, just before we get to the other planet energistic stuff, is I've put this in place. There is a basic energy cube on the top, the material stonework station in the middle, and that is basically making cobble. You don't need to put a cobble gen on it. I assume that you did need to, but you don't. And then you click on these buttons to tell it what to do. So you want to put it onto 3 grind mode, i.e. the diamond pickaxe, and it will convert from cobble all the way to dust. That goes straight through this simple crafter. I didn't really need any of the higher tier crafters, and this is much cheaper to make for one recipe. And then for in there, it just goes straight into the sieve, which it just did. And then at the other side comes random stuff. And in that, we get Basalz. There we go, and that's almost enough. In fact, no, that is enough. Let me just put that away. If I just pop downstairs, I'll just get rid of this quickly and we'll get on with the AE2 stuff. We want to compress it, so if we just pop that in there, that will just compress up. And that's going to produce 1 Basalz rod, but we've already made 3 and there's already 4 in the system. The combination of those 2 will let us get to Basalz seeds because they need tier 3 crafting seeds and intermedium as normally, but they also need Basalz chunk. They need tier 3 mob chunks, which you can get from tier 2, which I can just get from slime and just basically put them in a furnace. You'll be able to get to tier 2 easily enough. And this means we can then craft 4 of these and get Basalz seeds. And that's enough for us to get rapid amounts of Basalz for the sword, which is up here in rewards. There. Now we haven't got Tarantula boss trophy, which is Erebus, which I don't really like Erebus. Just got to be said. But we'll be able to get the Basalz rod easily enough now because we can plant this in our farm. Anyway, back to the AE2. And I have just taught our system how to make smart cable. And we've crafted some of that. I've replaced the glass cable up here just so you can see the channels. As you may already know, each side of an ME controller can output 32 channels on dense cable, but if you've only got regular cable, like this smart cable, it can output 8 channels, and that's more than enough for us right now. In fact, we are currently using 7 of the 8. If you just pop down and look at there, you'll see it says 7 of 8 channels, and you can see it visually. If you have a look right there, sort of there, you can see that there are 4 dark blue lines and 3 sort of mauve, like light purple lines, showing 7 total. We'll come on to dense cable later and more channel stuff later. But for now, I want to get started with the I/O port, and it lets me start swapping drives in and out. Now, the important thing with this is that if you want to get more control for these 64K drives, you can partition them. And if I remember rightly, you need to use the security terminal to do that. And that's already going to be used for our wireless side of things, if I remember rightly, as well. So having a security terminal around is not a bad idea. I just got a few components I don't want to make right now. But for right now, if you're going to swap your drives out from 4K to 16K, first of all, you won't know what types are in them. So you won't know what items are in them. You don't really know, does this thing have, is this full of stuff, or is it more full of types? And the only indication you get is the colors. So amber for types, red for full, essentially. So to do that, the best way I can just really suggest is just take a couple of these out, put a 64K drive in, and then dump these into your I/O port. Make sure the transfer direction is correct, and then do I remember move to output when empty? Yeah, both of those are now empty. Okay, and the stuff has been absorbed into our system. So if we have a look here, it's not gone into that first ME storage cell first. Now there is a way to force it. You just grab more cells. You dump more cells in, and each of these will try to transfer into the system. Now eventually they'll fail because everything will fill up as it is now, and they should start filling this one. They have. In fact, that one's now full of types, which means this one will have stopped. It has. And now you can do a few things. You can put these back into the system. Let me just get those out for a second. Let me just get the empties. And the empties can we actually extract the stuff out of them? Let me just make sure I eat first of all. Can we just use these and get the components back? Recipes. No, I don't want the cable. I want the storage cells. Can I get it back out of them? Yes, I can. Good. Because if we get the storage components back out, basically that is another 16K cell right there. So if we put those back in, we probably can't because the system's entirely full. But if we just grab these drives again for a second, just a couple of those partially full drives, then hopefully we can put these back in and then ask for another 64K, see if it has enough stuff for it. It needs another 16 logic processors and another 7 calculation processors. And here we go, same thing again. These are full. They're only about half full of the bytes used, but they're full of the types. So obviously you can arrange that a little bit more efficiently if you partition the disks to go for the things you have the most of. So for example, we can make sure we partition for glowstone and for redstone and stuff like that. I have largely stopped the seeds of these going into our system, and the same thing with diamond as well, I think, because for the moment I don't need them, and if I ever need more, it's just putting the seed back down and away you go. So that is emptied this one, and these are not yet empty. So let me just put that one back in the system. Oh, it's full again. Okay, let's just grab these out of the system, and let me just put that over there. And again, upgrade the drives like this is just a bit of a temporary thing for you to just figure everything out. And let's see, we should be short of these again. Let's just see how much more. 13 calculation processors, not all that much trouble these days because I can just go and grab some from here, some silicon. These acceleration cards make this much, much faster. And calculation processors, I'm just going to need more of you. Calculation in there. And then we can just swap them out with this to get more of them. And why aren't you going? Oh, it's got one logic stuck in there. now you're fine. And I can continue doing that until we get more drive space. We should end up with a situation where the types may fill up, and then you can think about maybe just taking the stuff that's at the very bottom of the list, like, you know, ones, just putting them in a giant crate of some kind, and then just putting a storage bus on it. And that's a decent way of getting out of the whole type situation. Because you see how many just ones of stuff are stored in here? Yeah, we're not going to want to actually do that longer term. But yeah, it's fine for now. So now you can get upgraded to the 64K drives quite easily. And pretty much good from there. There we go, a lot less red. You'll see these are obviously amber, but every time through now, all I'm really doing is putting all the drives through that are not 64K. So I'm going to take them all out, and we'll pass them all through the I/O port, and we'll have it set to work is done. So whenever it can transfer as much as it can do out of them, they'll move across to this side. So in this case, I'm just going to get all of those, and they'll move across whenever they can. Let's just get those, and then we'll get these done. And they're all done. So some of those may actually be empty now. You'll see all these have now refilled on types. And let's see, are you empty? Okay, so anything that isn't empty, I'm going to put back in. Everything that is empty, I'm just going to recycle. And we'll be able to make more stuff with that. Anything empty? No, all those have still got stuff in them. So we've got 10 drives that are nowhere near full, really. Yep, lots of stuff left in them. And now we're getting 64K drives on this side that are nice. They are filled up with types, but they have plenty of space in bytes. I.e. they can take more items or whatever they've got currently stored. Nice conversion, but I'll probably do the rest off camera. And around about this time in the game as well, we're going to want to upgrade away from our regular terminal. I have to keep going back here for it to get to a wireless crafting terminal, that is. So to get that, we're going to need a few things. So flux pearl seems regular enough. And our enemy crafting terminal, well, we haven't crafted one, but we should have probably components for one. So enemy crafting terminal, yep, there's that. And then we want the wireless terminal itself, which requires another couple of things. An ME terminal, let's go look, wireless terminal, ME terminal. Was it formation cores, annihilation cores? Probably. Let's just get both of those made. There we go, another ME terminal. And then we can get, dense energy cell. We need energy cells, so we're going to need 8 of these, and we're short. Okay, so we're going to need flux dust, which is regular. Well, it's pretty easy to make, and we've got lots of flux. So let's just put that through the pulverizer, or indeed will the segment work? Yep, and quite fast it is too. Okay, let's grab another sminget. And let me just reload that a little bit to get a bit more of this. That should be enough for now. And then, is it just quartz in the middle? Let's have a look whilst crafting. It is quartz glass, and the system should already know how to make that, but we can probably ask it to just create a cross stack of it, so we don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to want 7 more of these. I'll make 8 in the system. And we can make a dense energy cell now. Good. That's just power storage for the thing. And then a wireless receiver is another flux pearl, which we can make. And is that everything? That's everything for the wireless terminal, which should be everything for the wireless crafting terminal. And we've got one made. Now, it is unlinked at the moment. You can see in that tooltip. So we need to link it, which means I need to go and craft that security terminal, if I remember rightly. We're also going to need, well, or rather, we should get a booster card. Now, I've been getting these from, I think they just come out of the mob farms. So you should just see them randomly appear. Or indeed from sifting sometimes, I think. Well, let's see where they, where do they actually come from? Infinity boosters? Is there any way to actually make them? No, boost. Let's just look booster. Infinity booster card. You can actually make them, but you need quantum entangled singularities for. That's fine. I guess you need to make a singularity, and that's just feeding lots of cobblestone into a block. And then you put that with Ender and stuff like that to get that out. But you will get it this pack through just, playing it through sifting or through mob farms. So you should have those already. If anyone doesn't have them for some reason, do let me know in the comments and I will just try and show that on camera. Okay, so Infinity Booster card. I should get a message saying low on power. Yes. We can recharge that though. Let me just rob all the power from our... if you can feed in. Yep. So that is device is not linked. Good. So now we just need to craft that security panel I was talking about, I think. And let's just see. Wireless. Is there a broadcast block as well? Wireless charger, no. I'm almost sure there should be some kind of block I need to make. We'll come back to that shortly. Let me link it first of all. So let's look at the security panel. I think that's where you put it, but we'll see. Security panel, I need a 16K, so I'm going to need to get a Telsystem to craft one. You can make one now. Easy. And with that, then we just need to make sure we have enough processors and stuff to make an ME chest. ME chest is just an ME terminal, another one. And I just need a panel for that. There we go. Illuminated panel. Terminal. Chest. And security terminal. Okay, now since there is one free channel here, yeah, ME security, let me just put this down and see if this is where I link it. I think it is, because you just put it up here if I remember rightly. And it's linked to our system, which means I should be able to access our system from anywhere whilst at a range. Yeah, because I need to have some kind of broadcast block. There we go. Wireless access block, so I need another receiver. Wireless access point, I should say. So, yep, wireless receiver. And is that everything else? Yeah, so if we put that on something that has access to our system, like say here, and then we need the boosters to extend its range. Now, if I have a wireless booster card, didn't I? Yeah, so if I open this up, I should be able to install the Infinity booster card here. And there's a magnet card as well. If I just head out all the way over here, will I be fine? Yep. We have a booster card on this side. Now, I think there is a booster card on the other side that you install as well, but for the moment, this is fine. Let's just double check this between dimensions. So let's go to our void world. When it loads. I should put a chunk loader. I think I already have a chunk loader in here. For some reason, it's slightly slow when loading. And yep, absolutely fine. We are still got access to all of our system here. And of course, we have access to the crafting as well. So if I want a 64K, I can just click on the craft. And yeah, I quite like that. Very happy about that. Magnet card is an option as well, and that will sweep anything in the nearby vicinity into our AE2 system. I'm not sure about it just yet because I have one in my inventory that I can control. But if anything starts to build up in my inventory, by all means use that. And ooh, while we're over there, let's just get some of that Basalz stuff sorted. And we'll just need to set up the crafter. But just so I don't forget to do this, where are you? Over there? Yeah, so, oh, and it's actually spread. The diamond spread. You go away. You go away. Yeah, that's fine. I just want to make sure I don't put one in the corner there, otherwise it'll start spreading and we'll get lots and lots of diamonds, don't get me wrong. But yeah, not stuff that we actually may need. And yeah, someone did send a comment that we don't actually need this liquid trash can. These are just going to work just fine with sludge as they are. So, well, full sludge. So that's absolutely fine. And we can neaten that up in a short while. Well, neaten it up off camera, just get rid of them. And that means that we should now have Basalz essence coming in here. Yep, there it is. So let's just put it in our crafter here. New recipe. Is it just a ring? Full block? No. What is it? It's a cross. Of course. Why? Right. There we go. And is that's set to external? External fully. Yep. And then we can just put the filter to have basil essence as well. And that should start feeding stuff in. It has, which should then head into our system. And you can see here, we're already still getting nether star essence and diamond essence. So yeah, everything's working pretty well. And is that now mean I have basils in the system? BAS. There we go, we got 219 basils rod. So that's enough for that sword immediately. And then we just got to get that trophy or whatever it was. Spider trophy? Tarantula boss trophy from the Erebus. I need a way to overpower the Erebus. If I remember rightly, it's a lot of just poling around in like a boat or until you get flight and then you can fly around, but it's very, very brown and it's just a swamp. If I remember rightly, if I'm thinking of the right place, it's just a swamp. Anyway, if you have any, let's say, tips for your fellow playthroughers of Project Ozone 3 about getting through that thing, well, the rest of us will be more than happy to hear it, I guess. And I'm going to leave this episode a little bit short today because the last 2 episodes have been nearly 40 minutes long, and I don't want to go through too much stuff with you, but over the weekend we'll probably carry on with some more. Well, I'm not going to do much more AE2 other than do a moving day at some point to move all that stuff out to our void world or to another location just so it's nice and neat and tidy. In particular, I normally separate out the storage from the rest of it. So that will all go in one area, you know, the CPUs and the molecular assemblers. The storage will all go in one area, later to be extended potentially to a data center, although I may have to wait for Titan or Kappa mode because data centers, in Titan and Kappa, you need just so much more resources and setup that you end up needing a lot of autocrafting and a lot of storage. However, this mode shouldn't be too bad, but, you know, I do quite like that idea. And then, of course, the miscellaneous stuff and the terminals themselves in a utility area. It's your main home area, if you like, to return to. All right, so I'll leave it for today, and I hope to see you next time for some more Project Ozone 3. Got nice automation going. I will want to, and don't forget to put soulbound on this. You don't want to lose your wireless crafting terminal. And I think that actually will work just fine. Do we have soulbound in a book that is duplicated? Soulbound 2 or soulbound? Let's just go soulbound 1, the Ender.io version. And I should have enough XP, so will you just go in there? No, you won't. All right, so if you're going to be difficult about it, then let's just go for an anchor. Let's see if that works. Anchor. Spectre anchor. And then put you in here. Anchored. Wireless crafting terminal. So you're soulbound effectively. And that's good enough for me. All right, guys. If you feel like you've liked the episode, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share if you haven't already, click on the bell if you want notifications, and most important of all, leave comments for your fellow playthroughers. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for some more Project Ozone 3, and as always, thanks for watching.